little piece of the car left. So, what happened? Today's Monday. Saturday and Sunday, I put on monster truck shows here at my friend's farm. And it all went, well, it went good, but at what cost? Well, I think I have had this transmission out 3 times already, and now it's got to come out again. What happened? Well, I'm starting to think that Turbo 400s and Cummins engines should not be hooked together. I think that this marriage is probably going to end in a terrible divorce. I think the marriage has been terrible the whole way through. I mean, it's been nothing but a disaster. But I've had a smile on my face the whole time because I'm having so much fun. This is what I want to do. I need to do it the way that I can figure how it could be done. I mean, there's only so many ways that I could have a monster truck, and really the only way is to just sort of stick a bunch of stuff together that I can find, and that's what I've done. And for what I've got, I don't think that there's any real match in what I've accomplished. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I think I'm doing pretty good for what I've got, or what I had. I think I've done pretty good for what I've had. Put it all together, and I'm able to put on a show with it time and time again. And the show's not going to stop because I'm not going to stop. I got to keep going. There's a bunch of shards of aluminum down here on the ground. That's because I'm a super genius. This is my converter bolt. So, well, the converter bolts, the transmission rattled apart, then the bolts jumped out the torque converter, got all wedged up in the back of the engine in the adapter plate, threw aluminum chunks all over the place, destroyed the bolts, locked the motor up and shut it down. I pulled the broken bolts out and started the motor to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. Seems like it's fine. That's good. Why'd they jump out? I think just because the transmission rattled apart. I lost reverse. I kept going. It was making all kinds of noise. Who knows how much of that noise was the converter bolts. I don't think they would have hung in there that long, so I think that was just at the very end. Either way, transmission's got to come out, get gone through again. I don't have any time to redesign this truck with a different transmission right now. I didn't want to even do that in the first place because it's going to probably involve buying stuff. And as it is right now, I'm just going to rebuild this trans, put it back in, and be ready to go again this weekend. Or maybe even sooner. So it's a beautiful day out here, just drizzling on me, keeping me nice and cooled off. I can't think anywhere better to be. Time to take stuff apart. Time to come back out, drive shaft. Alright, there goes my rear drive shaft. Fold this out of the way. Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. There goes that. I can't rightly say, but I'm going to try and get this transfer case out today. Alright, here we go. Turn steering wheel. Get this baby up in the air. Once I get it up under there, we'll throw a strap around it. Pull the bolts out of the case and slide it back. And this time, it's all or nothing. I ain't going to let it land on me again. I'm going to add an extra strap just to hold the transfer case in there so I can pull the bolts out. That way it won't roll back without me until I get in here and undo the strap. I am a little bit scared of this thing now. I'm having post-traumatic stress disorder. I think I'm shell-shocked. I was never... This thing reminds me of a dog, because I was never scared of dogs my whole life. I ain't never been scared of no dog. Always knew only friendly dogs. Then I went to Yankee Lake, Ohio for the Trucks Gone Wild deal. I don't know what year it was, but I drove my Super Duty out there on 49s, 2.5 tons. Drove it out there, a 9-hour trip to get to Yankee Lake, Ohio. And when I got there, everybody wanted to stop in the liquor store, and they got a liquor store out in front of the event. Yankee Lake, Ohio is a nice place. The whole deal is owned by the mayor or some shit. Mayor owns the place, owns everything around, and he's got a racket going on. He got a liquor store out in front of the mud bog. Now, everybody wants to stop and get liquor. My brother was running a 1969 Dodge Rust Bucket, but it was actually a 2.5 ton truck on 49s. Bob 2.5 ton on 49s with a bunch of work done to it, and he put that old Dodge body on it. It was an awesome rig. He still got it. And we ran those trucks down Route 80 all the way across Pennsylvania, got into Ohio to Yankee Lake, and he only had 2 seats, and he had 2 dogs and a girl up in the front of his truck, and I had a crew cab full of people, and he had an extra passenger that didn't want to pay his way, so he rode in the bed of the Dodge, laying down. That was Aunt Con's, so that was a memorable trip with Aunt Con's in the bed. But this is getting to the dog. We pull up to the liquor store, and everybody in the truck wants to go get beer, and I had to pee. So I go around the back of the liquor store, and they had a garage door on the back, and there was all these old trucks and broken tractors around this garage door. Well, I think that's a good place to go pee. So I go up to nobody's there. I go up to this old broken tractor, and I'm marking my territory on the tire, and I hear a noise, something coming up behind me, and I turn around, and this mangy little dog, looked like a sick coyote, was coming towards me. And I ain't never been scared of dogs. So I zipped my pants up real quick, and I put my hand out to pet him. And when I done that, he jumped to bite me in the face. So I grabbed him by the neck, or rather I tried to grab him by his neck, but he bit my hand and latched onto my thumb. I had to shake that dog off. I was kicking it. I got out of there. He was on a chain, so that was good. So I got mixed up with the junkyard dog while I was trying to pee, and I had a big hole in my thumb. They still made me pay the $15 to get in. But anyway, after that, now I see a dog, and I don't know, if I don't know the dog, you don't really want to go pet the thing. So I don't plan on petting my transfer case anymore. You know, it's going to be more of a sketchy relationship. Are you going to bite me today, or are we going to have a good time with peanut butter? Sneaking up in here with this mangy dog. Let's see if I can safely and securely get it down to the ground. Alright, the green strap's holding the transfer case to my cart. My cart still has flat tires. This board is wet and slippery. It's been raining on me for a little while, and I'm going to undo the strap that's holding the case to the frame and the transmission. I'm going to wedge my foot up in there, and I'm going to use my whole body to keep this thing from flipping over on top of me again. You know, it really doesn't seem that scary until it falls on you. No big deal. You're coming down to the ground one way or another, transfer case. You can come down the easy way, or you can come down the hard way. Alright, what's going on here? Let's let her down a little bit. Loosen it down a little bit. Maybe I'm putting too much pressure on the back of the transmission. This is where things get a little hairy. Alright, now we're starting to separate. It looks like it wants to flip. It looks like it wants to flop, rather. I just bumped my funny bone. Everything's going to be okay. There she goes, wanting to run away. Look, transfer case. We're going to do this whether you like it or not. This is where everything got tricky last time. Maybe I need to redesign this cart and put a wheelie bar on it. I'm just going to crank it down and let it just sort of come on down. Alright, in the future, my transfer case cart needs a wheelie bar. We're going to have to add that feature, because I just don't like the way it wants to roll back on top of me all the time now. I don't like your attitude lately, transfer case. You know, I refurbished you. I did a good job and made you a lot stronger. And all you're doing is really resenting it, you know. I know I scratched your name off, but I just can't stand people that are into brands. And it's not even that, it's just the idea that I'm showing off, you know. If I'm showing off, I'm certainly not showing off with stuff I bought. Sorry, transfer case. But I scratched your name off and that's that. I already paid. I paid the price to get you here. I'm not going to do no free advertising for anybody. Okay, things are working good. I'm getting a little bit lazy sitting down here on the 4-link bar, but it's kind of like a hawk perched looking at everything I want to eat. All right, that's not looking too good, is it? What I've got here is the couplers getting a little bit tangled up, and here I go, being a little bit goofy again. All right, there we go. The trouble is there's too many things that I've got to hold on to here. I've got to hold the cart with my chest, I got to hold the transfer case with that hand, and I got to reach around. I got my knee wedged into that, and I got to lower this wheel down and get this thing a little bit down and out of the way and safer. Because the way I've got it up in the air, I don't want to be pushing it around like I did last time. That's how I got myself into that pickle in the first place. Trying to take the quicker way out. Let's just sit here and get this thing down as low to the earth as we can. This is a tricky little sucker, you know. There's a whole lot of steel packed in this big box. And here I am, just kind of winging it. If it wants to roll away, it's going to. The only thing that's going to stop it is my knee. Alright, we got to roll it back. Come on, baby! There we go. Okay. There we go. Which way's down? There we go. Down, down, down. I want you to go down. Beep, beep, beep. No problem. There we go, and that's it. Now I'm hitting 4-link bars, so I'm gonna put a couple straps on you. Make sure you don't try and run away again. Then I got to go again, and it was pretty good until the bolts jumped right out of the torque converter. I think the transmission was rattling so much, shaking and shaking and shaking, that it shook them bolts right out. And I always hate to over tighten them. I probably should have put Loctite on them. Converter's spinning free. It's time to pull off all the hoses and lines and shifter cables. Then it'll be time to pull the trans down. Alright, this is my homemade jack extension for my floor jack. I made it out of some old garbage scrap metal I had. Come on, transmission, you're coming out. Today is the day for you to come out and play. I've got that jack way too far back, but it's out, so I'm just going to lower it down. Luckily, the cross member's here and it's holding up that pipe, so it should be fine. I'm just going to lower it down and just sort of hang out of the way. See what happens. I'm not too worried about anything. All right, come on. Come on, sweetheart. Come on down for a walk. All right, here we go. Coming down. She's coming down, she's coming down, she's coming down. Everything's going okay. Jack's about to bottom out, and that's it. Torque converter won't come out. That cross member's in the way. The whole thing wants to slide forward and fall over, but the jack's being held up by the cross member. Transmission fluid is raining down on my slippery plywood. Ratchet strap's holding everything on. I think I'll undo the ratchet strap, get in there and push the trans back, pull the torque converter off, and then get in there and give it a nice hug. Welcome home. Carry it down to earth. Okay, that's the plan. I'm going to put my hood up because this is serious. Oh, let's just push it. Ready? We're going to just give it a shove back. There you go. Get out of here. Get back there. Okay. All right, now I should be able to get the converter off. Unfortunately, the transmission's just not really sitting there. So where'd my strap go? Let's go get the strap back. All right, everything wants to jump out and kill me. Let's just, there we go. Maybe we could do this a little differently. Maybe if I just get in here and give you a little shove, you'll give me a little love. There we go. All right. Now the transmission's precariously perked on the tail shaft. All right. I'm gonna hold it with my shoulder and take the converter out. All right. This is a bit of a messy job here. My shoulder's gonna do all the work holding the trans. My arm's filling up with trans fluid, but that's okay. As long as nothing lands on my face, I'll be fine. I'm gonna take the torque converter, slide it over here. Ow! I just don't want the transmission to fall on me, and everything will be all right. We don't want this thing to fall on me either. There we go. We'll set that over there. I got a nice oil bath. That's fine. All right. Now, what's going on in here? Now, this is much nicer without the drive shaft in. Stand up in here. I'm just going to pull that extension out of the way and drop it. Now I'm going to lower the trans down. The bell housing's just going to slide down my stomach there. Good. Sitting on the trans pan. I'm going to kick the jack out of the way with my feet. Get out of here, you dirty jack. Then I'm just going to slide it down. I should pull the slip yoke out. That way it doesn't slide out. Very good. Slip yoke's out of the way. I'll put my hand on the tail shaft. My fingers are pretty useless, but I think I can do this. All right, here we go. Right down, here we go. Oh, baby. Yep, that feels good. Okay, all right. There we go. That worked much better than the last couple of times, even with this goofy thing going on. All right, now I can ride it like a pony. You know, some people sit at a desk and call it work. Other people do stuff like this and call it fun. Go figure. Let's haul this transmission back home and get it figured out. Oh, my hand.